All right, everyone, we are going to be looking at doing perspective art. This is a video that kind of gives you a quick layout of how it will go down. However, if you take the slideshow and look at things side by side, it will really help you create a beautiful project. Perspective art, we're definitely going to be creating things that look like they're closer to us and things that are farther away from us, and that's through something called the vanishing point. First of all, what you're going to be doing is lightly on your page, drawing an X from corner to corner with the idea that you will be crossing in the middle. This crossing in the middle is called the vanishing point. So everything will be looking as if we're traveling towards that. Halfway through is what's going to be called the horizon. So as you are looking out at your picture, this is like where the sky meets the ground. Okay, so the first thing, as I said, you are going to draw lightly your X on your square or your paper, and then you can lightly draw these horizon lines as well. They will be erased later on, so you really don't want to be writing too heavily. The next thing we're going to be doing is looking at the sidewalk. So this is basically going to be a road. This will be the sky in the top area, and then we'll have trees and buildings on the sides. So I'm going to take my pencil and go from the vanishing point down to the bottom, and I'm going to be making that triangle just a little bit bigger as we go. Really, it depends on how wide you want your sidewalk to be. I feel this one's just a little bit too wide, so I'm going to make it a little bit skinnier here. This is as if we're walking into the sunset. These rectangular lines are going to be my sidewalk. Now, the really key thing about this next part is we're going to make the sidewalk blocks. You will need to take a piece of paper or a ruler and make sure that you are following lines parallel to your horizon. So, for example, my horizon is going like this. So all of my sidewalk blocks are going to follow that line. They're going to be wider apart at the bottom and come closer together as we reach the vanishing point. So you want to be parallel. So we want it to be straight like that. Same with the other ones, but they're going to get closer together. They need to be roughly parallel with the line, and when I say parallel, they're going straight across like the top or the bottom of your page. And they get bigger as you go. They don't need to be equal on each side, but they do need to be bigger as you go. Just wanted to add in this last one wasn't quite parallel. It's a little hard to do on this program that I have. Sometimes people will take their pencil and they'll make it, they think that they have them straight and they'll be drawing like this. That is not parallel. You need to make sure that they are the same lines that go down on your paper, the top of your page, bottom of your page, and your horizon line. So with that being said, I'm going to draw over my dark lines only so you guys can see what I've done. You will erase your lines later on, and then we'll go from there. Okay, the next part that we have is trees. Now the trees you're going to want to have parallel to the side of your paper. So they're going to be going up and down like this. Okay, and they're going to be smaller as you go. And basically you're going to be using the line here to kind of gauge the line here to kind of gauge where your tree tops are going to be. So let me just erase this here so you can kind of get a vision of what it will look like. You can make your trees quite big at the start, quite tall, and then continue down as we go. And your trees can look like whatever you want. I am doing mine very, very general. I would expect on yours that you add some more detail here. Okay. So you can be adding like little knots in there. You can be adding branches. You want to have a lot of detail for sure. You can see that I'm kind of following what I had as my guideline there, and they're getting smaller as we go. And you can have bushes in between. You can have taller trees, smaller trees. It really doesn't matter. But the idea is to kind of go down in that angle. Okay? Now, basically, you're going to be erasing the horizon line to an extent. Do you know what? We're going to leave the erasing just for now. I'm going to put this back in here because I don't want people to get confused with my horizon. Sorry about that, and it's easier than restarting the whole video. Okay, so we've got our trees. You can definitely put in little details as you go, but you might want to wait for that. Your tree trunks need to be parallel to the side of your page. So I'm just going to show you kind of like the hot dog, right? Like they need to be up and down. I'm just drawing this to show you. I don't expect you to draw these lines, but they will be, you need to have them parallel. Sometimes people draw their trees sideways, but just go like this with your lines just to see. I always take a ruler to make sure that I have mine going up and down properly. Sometimes people will draw their trees like this. I'll just do it on the other side so you can see. And they have their trees slanted. You need to have them up and down like the sides of your paper. So sidewalk is parallel to the bottom and top of your paper. Trees and now buildings would be parallel to the sides of your paper. Now, buildings take a little bit of work. I would draw them lightly as you go. On slide 5, it really gives you a layout of how to do it step by step. The first thing that we're going to do is start with our biggest building, which is closest to us. I'm going to go straight out. I'm going to diagonal down. And then I'm going to go to the ground. Okay, I'm going to go straight down again from where I went out, straight down. So there's my very first building. So again, you go straight out, angle down, straight down, find where you went out before, and continue on there. If you want to, you can erase the horizon line on these buildings because you won't be using those. This is basically what you'll be looking at. Straight out, diagonal, down. You can make them as close together as far apart as you would like. And you just keep on going. Now your bottoms will have a straight line going across to show that your building does have a bottom. So that's basically what your buildings will look like. Okay, so as you continue to do this, you may want to add windows. You definitely will want to add little details as you go, maybe some grass and in and amongst here. You will want to have your horizon. So if you remember, your horizon was at the back. You want it to be in between any trees, anything that you can't cover up with your trees. Depending on what you put over here, this could all be shades of grass, but that really depends. In the sky, you'll want to put some clouds, however many you like. You could put the sun going down like this. It really depends. There's lots of different ways to look at it. Especially for the people that really love art, I really, really expect your trees to be as detailed as possible. And I encourage you on your buildings to put local services. So maybe this is the fire department. Now, obviously, you would make this really nice. I'm just showing you here. You could have some windows. Whatever you want to have. You can have an arena, you can have a swimming pool, you can have whatever you want. Just lightly. The key thing is to always be drawing lightly on these things. And at the end, we often encourage people to outline everything in black with a Sharpie if you have one, but if you don't have one, that's okay. When we've done this as a class before, we've given the criteria that you had to have like a park bench that had an advertisement for a campaign. We've done that you had to show that there was 4 forces of flight, so maybe a bird or a hot air balloon or something along those lines. We've also done a recording of where you had everything in there and stuff like that. But this is certainly to try, and then we can add criteria a little bit later on. This window needs to be cemented a bit. Okay, so give that a try, and this obviously is just a quick little version. Follow the slides bit by bit, and you'll do a really great job.